Second Chance is a Grundtvig learning partnership which involves 6 countries: Estonia, Italy, Poland, Romania, Spain and Turkey. We all work directly or indirectly with the education of people who are in a situation of deprivation of liberty. Some years ago, the different countries participating in this project wanted to achieve different goals. Firstly, to let the society know the specificity of education in prison and the work carried out there. Secondly, to find out if the education received by inmates in our respective prisons was really useful for them, if it provided them the necessary tools to resume their lives after release, whether prison education actually represented a second chance. Trying to answer our questions, we thought it would be interesting to conduct a qualitative investigation. In a prior meeting in Barcelona, we planned the project that would be carried out during 2 school years, from 2013 to 2015. Our goals were knowing what our students thought about education in prison, also finding out if their passing through the school had actually helped them or was helping and how, using their information to make suggestions in order to improve, change, and share them among all the participating countries. Once we knew what we wanted to investigate, the project started. That was the beginning. And who could tell us better than anyone what education is in prison? Our inmates. To collect the information from them, we used a qualitative research which was based on interviews, life stories, and focus groups. We wanted to listen to our inmates, be empathic, sensitive, and understand their educational experience. Our inmates would be the main characters, and through their voices, we could think deeply of our role as educators and look for ways to improve it. First of all, we created the poster, the logo, and the website in order to publish and disseminate our project. During the 2 years, we have organized meetings in our countries in order to share the work we had done in our institutions. All the meetings lasted 1 week, and between the working sessions, we had the opportunity of visiting the prisons where our partners work, and we also had time to know their traditions and do cultural tours. In Turkey, altogether, we agreed on the guidelines and the script of the interviews and life stories. Regarding the interviews, we wanted to know not only important aspects of the inmates' lives, but also their educational experience. The final goal was to find out their feelings regarding school, what it meant for them, their participation in the school in prison, and their opinion on the methodology used. We had the opportunity to visit the women's prison in Gebze, see different training courses, and speak to different professionals of the prison. It was a great opportunity to know the penitentiary system in Turkey. On the other hand, we also did cultural activities in Gebze and some sightseeing in Istanbul, such as Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, the Big Bazaar, Bosphorus Sea. After the Turkish meeting, using the information obtained in the interviews, we developed the respective life stories. The aim was to write a narrative that showed the interpretation of memories, ideas, facts, feelings of the inmates we had interviewed. We did not want to stay in a purely descriptive level, but to be able to make a good interpretation of the information in order to facilitate the reflections and share them among all the participants. In total, 71 interviews with their life stories were written. Once the interviews and their life stories were done, each country extracted the key elements, the most relevant aspects, in order to be discussed during the focus groups by new students, new voices, and thus enrich our research. In Estonia, in a collaborative work between all countries, we agreed on the script of focus groups, selecting the more meaningful and relevant lines of work from the life stories written in each country. We had the opportunity to visit the Ida Viruma Vocational Education Center, an institution that has an agreement with the prison of that area and enrolls a group of inmates who are in open section. It was very interesting to talk to them and know their point of view regarding the course they were attending. Furthermore, multilingual and intercultural activities were done. We visited the Putisha Dormition Convent and the Narva Castle. After that, each country developed their own discussion groups following the agreed script. In total, there were 12 groups, 85 inmates participated in them. In Italy, we conducted the final analysis of the first phase of the investigation and the conclusions were drawn. Based on these conclusions, new proposals for improvement were formulated in order to carry them out during the second year of the project. These proposals were about 4 aspects: improvements related to students, teachers, methodology, and thinking about the future. We agreed that each country would make at least 3 proposals. Moreover, to achieve the involvement and participation of different students in that second phase, we planned some exchange activities to communicate and share their point of view about the project. We decided to start with postcards. During the Italian meeting, we had the opportunity to visit 2 prisons, Ranza Prison, San Gimignano, and Siena Prison in Siena. In both prisons, we saw the respective areas of education, we saw the different courses carried out, and we talked to some inmates in order to know their views on the education they were receiving. It was very interesting to know the penitentiary system in Italy and how their school work. We also had time to do cultural activities. We visited the Melini Winery in Gaggiano, the Cassaro Fortress and Fairy Fountain in Poggibonsi, and the city center in San Gimignano and Siena. This first year of the project culminated in the publication of a digital book where there is a selection of the life stories written by each country. In Romania, each country presented the proposal that they wanted to carry out according to their immediate needs and possibilities. The objective was to design an action plan and begin the implementation. We agreed on collecting all the results in a digital guide as a result of this second phase of the project. Moreover, the first exchanging was done. Each country brought postcards from their inmates in order to be delivered to the other partners. Thanks to them, inmates were able to express their views on the changes implemented in their schools and share them among the participating countries. As in the first year of the project, we wanted that students were the real main characters, that they felt involved and could live the project. And through their voices, we could redefine and improve the different activities we had planned. We decided to vary the kind of exchange activities. We would write postcards, letters, and make little gifts. We had the opportunity to visit the juvenile prison of Craiova, where we saw a performance by a group of inmates. It was very interesting to see different sections of that prison and know the penitentiary system in Romania. We also visited different typical places: the center of Craiova, monastery and pottery in Horezu, Parliament Palace and the Old City Centre in Bucharest. In Spain, a conference was organized to present the results of the improvements applied in each country. All of us were able to achieve important and big changes. Turkish and Romanian partners opened new courses and started new activities according to the needs of the inmates. Polish team improved the open education and introduced new activities in order to be in contact with outside. Estonian partners thought about new social and psychological programs in order to increase the consciousness of how important is education in prison. Italian and Spanish proposals aimed at improving the teaching quality and collaborative learning, in order to improve their methodology. Moreover, a second exchanging was done. New postcards, letters, and gifts from the inmates were delivered to all countries. We had the opportunity to visit two prisons, Men's Prison in Barcelona and the Lledonner Prison in San Juan de Villatorrada. It was very interesting to see different sections of those prisons and their schools. We had the opportunity to speak to the directors of both prisons and know the penitentiary system in Catalonia and how their schools work. Furthermore, some cultural activities were done. We saw the typical Catalan human towers, and we visited the Parc Güell, Sagrada Familia, Palau Güell, and the old town of Barcelona. In Poland, we presented the e-guide, where the results of all improvements implemented in each country can be found. We realized that our project had been very intense. We had carried out a high-quality work and we had achieved excellent results. We felt really proud about it. We had the opportunity to visit the detention center in Warsaw Białoleka, where we could see a large exhibition of the exchange activities done during this second year, and the open prison for men in Bemowo, Warsaw. We visited different sections of those prisons and we could speak to their directors and officers. It was very interesting to know the penitentiary system in Poland and the features of both prisons. As in the other meetings, we also had time to know their traditions and do cultural tours. We visited the Frederick Chopin and Warsaw Rising Museum, the Palace of Culture and Science, the Palace at Milano, and the old town of Warsaw. And now, having reached the end of this project, we wonder if there is life after the second chance. And we can say that all of this has been the beginning of a big project, a new line of work, a new way of understanding adult education in prison. It has meant a second chance in terms of personal and professional growth. We are very proud of the recognition and the echo it had in the different institutions. We would like to continue working on this direction, so yes, we believe that there is life after second chance. New projects are waiting for us.